To most people, the sky is the limit, but to those who love aviation, the sky is home. Jerry Crawford. There's never been a better time to be a pilot. Between the travel benefits, the increased pay, and the immense amount of job opportunities right now, being a pilot has to be the best job in the world. Being a pilot has always historically been a tough career to get into. In the 100 years of flying, aviation has seen numerous advancements and changes. Just in the past 40 years, aviation has seen many highs and lows. Between the Airline Deregulation Act of 1978, which created the airlines that we know today, and 9/11, we've seen lots of changes. So as I've mentioned, there's a huge need for pilots. But why is that? Let's talk about it. Right now we're experiencing what we call a pilot shortage. In every part of the industry, pilots, mechanics, flight attendants, everybody. But let's talk about pilots. There's a couple different reasons for this. According to the Boeing report, by 2038, worldwide, the demand for pilots is going to be over 800,000, and that's going to be over 200,000 in the US alone. To put that number in perspective for you, there's a little over 600,000 certificated pilots worldwide to date. So why the huge gap? First of all, the airlines require a mandatory retirement age of 65. Currently, most of the people that fly for the airlines right now are about to reach that 65 age mark. Even further contributing to this gap was 9/11 and the financial crisis of 2008. After 9/11, people weren't willing to fly. They didn't trust the airline industry, and it just wasn't something as a whole the nation wanted to get into. Once things cooled off after that, in 2008, we had our financial crisis. From that point on, airlines merged. They either merged with other airlines, pilots were furloughed and laid off, again, cutting off the amount of jobs into the industry. To further compound this problem, we have what's called the 1,500-hour rule. This requires pilots to fly 1,500 hours prior to be able to fly for an airline legally. While this is a good rule for safety, it compounds the time that it takes to start your flight training and get to the airline world or whatever type of flying job that you choose to have. All of the things in the past 20 years have led us to this pilot shortage we see today. A few other things that I didn't mention brought into this, but mainly those factors. So because of this, we're seeing more job openings than we ever have before, and that comes with increased pay and incentives as well. Airlines and other companies are increasing their pay and offering signing bonuses anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000, which is pretty significant considering back 20 years ago, that would be your yearly pay when you first started flying for an airline. Airlines are even starting to pay for parts of your flight training, which historically can be very expensive, so this is another incentive to go work for an airline. Airlines have started things like cadet programs to make this happen. So to give you an example, PSA Airlines, which is a wholly owned regional of American Airlines, has started a cadet program to get people at the start of their flight training. So when they come in and they start their flight training, they get you to commit to them and they start helping you pay with tuition reimbursement and offer you a guaranteed job when you get there. They also come along with some other perks, but those are the main ones: the money and the guarantee of the job. Aside from the airlines, there's so many different job opportunities in aviation. We have careers in law enforcement, firefighting, air ambulance, corporate, you name it and have an interest in it, flying is going to be part of it in some way or another, I can guarantee you that. So at the end of the day, don't you want to get paid to stare out a window all day? Because that's what I get to do, and it's the best job in the world. So it's very clear that there's never been a better time to be a pilot. Many of you probably already know what you want to do when you grow up, so to speak, or you're already currently in your career and you're just pursuing more education right now. But consider flying as a career. The industry is hurting for pilots right now, and the pay is good for them too. Not only is it a well-paying job, but it's really not a job at all. Whether you decide to become a pilot or not, remember this.